classy Cass. Brian Davies said Cass were brilliant in this one for the final hour, and everything went wrong for Wire. Gidley and Ratchford looked out of sorts, a real shock result after being 14-0 up, and helps to squeeze things up at the top. This year's top 8 will be much better than last year, as anyone can win any match. Colin Renner said it was an outstanding game, but 2 things stood out for me. Castleford Tigers' first try was fantastic at keeping the ball alive, and the one-handed catch by Ratchford that was down by his shin. Wow. Ollie Smith said, wow, what a second half response by Cass. Thought the Moors was outstanding, and Gale led the team around really well. Cass fans here in great numbers and voice too. Tom 1819.
He's old, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was... I was expecting to say Tom Eckley. I nearly went Tom Eckley 89.
No, it's...
But no, Tom 1819.
That's quite an age.
Oh, it was 20 past 6 when we posted.
Nearly 200 years old.
I think it was just 20 past 6 when we posted the message. What a game. Swang both ways after Warrington made an electric start and should have been out of sight. They blew a few chances to add to the score. A great team try sparked Cass into life, and a second score put the game in balance at half-time. Great second half ensured the 2 points came back to West Yorkshire, so you would assume he's a Cass fan. B. Adams 93, or Badams 93. He said,
Ben Adams.
I know.
All right.
Said Wire's right flank was atrocious in this game. Lynham was found wanting far too many times. Cass were clinical and punished our frailty. Wire now down to the bare bones with a real tough run ahead. It's squeaky bum time for the Wire. And Paul Luna Lewis said, performance of the Magic Weekend for me. Cass looked very impressive, and Luke Gale should be the first name on the England team sheet. Great atmosphere at the Gallagate as Widnes and Wigan fans were singing together in glee against the Wire fans, who took it in their stride. To be fair, you can't get the Wigan Your Shit song out of my head though. Which one's that?
I'm guessing it was just the whoa, your shit.
Oh right.
I don't know.
I hate when they steal other people's chants.
Just that sort of generic chant.
Yeah. I'm waiting for insert player's name here is on fire, your defence is terrified.
Oh, I really don't like the.
No, just that.
I just you'll see.
Happen.
But what you'll see is some fucking 18-year-old guy who thinks is king fucking nuts with his drum or whatever. Who'll try.
Careful, we're going to go stand with the Bulls drummer, or very near to him.
He'll try and instigate this at their team, be it in another football club or and because the Wigan when they got it with Griggs went viral.
Yeah.
They own that now for me.
That should be Wigan Athletics.
So as soon as you'll get a video, which you will get in the next 18 to 24 months, you'll get a video of another club on an away day, whatever sport, with all their fans in a pub singing it about one of their players, thinking that they're the fucking hilarious guys who managed to fit this together because their little 18-year-old guy can't remember 2 years ago that actually was someone else's mate. So now you're videoing it and making you all look like pricks. Get your own songs.
Got a bit of a thing with Facebook and all.
Get your own songs.
Hey, get your own songs. Okay, final game of the weekend then saw rock bottom of the table Leeds Rhinos taking on the Wigan Warriors, and it was a mismatch from the outset, really, wasn't it, Mark? With a 40 points to 8 victory in favour of the Warriors. The Warriors.
This is the problem with Magic Weekend, isn't it? It throws up these fixtures that are so unbalanced between shit sides and good sides, and it happens every year. I mean, usually it's Warrington get Widnes or something like that, but
this year it's Wigan against Leeds.
This year it was ours to gain, which was a fantastic.
It is interesting to point out that, in my opinion, this is two pretty shit sides comparatively playing against each other.
In all seriousness, Wigan's attack fell apart after Sam Tompkins was taken off, and there was such less structure and shape. He's brought a lot more. He's not getting too much of the ball yet. He's getting a bit, and he's doing some stuff, but he's bringing in a lot more calmness. He's helping out on kick plays. Yeah. He's giving an extra person if one of the playmakers gets caught up at dummy half, which was killing us. Yeah. He's given an extra kick option, an extra organiser option. Something that he did really well for the Warriors when he was fit for them, to be perfectly honest, was help organise their attacking structure and their defensive line, and he showed his value in that regard, even though he wasn't flash. It shows he's a better player than just flash little Sam Tompkins with his sidesteps and his ego. Yeah. He is not that man. He is
But he's not the boy anymore, he's the man.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal rugby league man.
I enjoyed watching him play the game, and I enjoyed watching him talking to George Williams throughout. Several occasions I saw him actually in George Williams' ear, just coaching him and helping him out there, which is again something I think that lad will benefit from immensely too.
And by the way, how good was George Williams? He was influential in this game massively. Willie Ister I've given so much stick to, but he came up with 2
Still an
tries.
offensive player. Who knew that Willie Ister was that good at rugby league?
And I think it was a good performance in the most for Wigan, but again, not a complete performance. The fact that it was our first time scoring more than 30 points all year was significant, but it should have been 50. It should have been more when Zach Hardacre went to the bin. We didn't score any points after that point.
Yeah. Is there anything? Can we draw some parallels between the fact that Anthony Gelling wasn't in the side and the fact that a guy was kicked out of Yates's in Wigan for trying to have a shit on the floor this weekend, Mark?
Anthony Gelling's injury is apparently going to be maybe another week or two before he's back in the team.
So he wasn't out dancing?
Not as far as I'm aware.
I couldn't believe that story when I saw it on Twitter this morning. I thought this is a perfect timing. So let's get back to the game then.
Stats.
I don't know. Can we talk about Leeds for a minute or two? Because it just goes from bad to worse for them, really, doesn't it?
Well, they took the lead in this game again.
But they do that. They like to take the lead.
Yeah.
It seems to me, and the Bulls have done this a couple of times when they've been beaten by teams we wouldn't expect them or wouldn't expect to be getting beaten by, or when there's been a lack of belief. We've taken the lead and things have gone well, but when that first pegging back comes or that first bit of adversity comes, they're looking around for someone to dig them out of the shit. And there's not really an answer, and they really are lacking in confidence now. And I still find it tough to put my finger on why.
See, this is like on the flip side, whilst people like Matty Smith might have the critics, people like Dan Sargent might have the critics, those sorts of players were able to step up and maintain when Wigan were hit with a blow of the captain going off injured early doors.
Yeah.
And that meant that we were still able to keep up at a high level, and as soon as Leeds started making mistakes, Wigan completely capitalised. And what Wigan did as well, really well, was played the same game plan that they played against Leeds, and they've only played it against Leeds, but they were absolutely destroying Leeds around the ruck with the forwards.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that enough this season, and it opens up so much more space for George Williams to take on the line, for the centres to actually have running room to get the ball out to the wingers. It was great for Wigan to say Leeds just don't have the capacity to cope with teams when they get on a roll.
If there's positives for Leeds, it's the development of Jordan Lilly continues. He's learning a lot from adversity, if nothing else, at the moment. And Cal Watkins had his best game in a Leeds shirt for some time.
No, he had one good moment when he scored a try, then he started dropping the ball, Tom.
I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm just saying he had his best game in a Leeds shirt for a long while.
You mean he did something positive in the Leeds shirt?
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying he's been playing well. I'm not saying he had a good game. I'm saying by comparison, there's things there.
There's some of the things we keep saying, like, Jordan Lilly's development, great. We keep saying when they get people back, they'll be better. Well, they had Cuthbertson in this game. They had Hardacre in this game. They had Maguire in this game. You'd think this is significant for them down that spine, and it didn't help. They had we keep saying Ash Hanley, credit to him, the lad keeps making mistakes but getting up off the back of them and working really hard and doing positive things in the game.
Stopping making mistakes.
He keeps making mistakes now that cost his team tries week after week. People are going to kick at him and do maybe not do what Don Manfredi did to him, because Don Manfredi did that to Ryan Hall, and no one does that to Ryan Hall. Shall we get to the stats?
Yes, let's look at that.
6 more errors and 4 more penalties were a big factor. Were a big factor in Leeds' demise in this one. They had 2% better team tackle success rate, but that's mostly because they made 95 more tackles when Wigan only had 16 more carries. The extra men they had to commit to stop Wigan running the ball still couldn't stop a 1.1 metre per carry better average game from the Warriors. 10-2 was the count in attacking kicks. Only 6-5 in breaks, though. Wigan racked up 7 tries to 2, converting 6 of them. What that tells me is Wigan were just able to pile on the position, and Leeds did not have the physicality in their side to stop what Wigan were doing to them.
Yeah.
But Wigan still in attack aren't great. They only made 1 more break, despite absolutely running through them almost physically.
Yeah.
They couldn't actually find the gaps. Still a problem.
Okay. Individually, who stood out for us?
Well, Willie Isa grabbed 2 tries for Wigan. George Williams with a try, 2 try assists, 5 tackle bust was influential. John Bateman keeps his man of steel contention up there. 194 metres, 3 successful offloads. Playing in 2 positions during this game. Dan Sargentson, who also played in 2 positions during this game, try assist 118 metres. For the Rhinos, Callum Watkins with a try and 102 metres. Mitch Achurch with a try, 104 metres, 2 clean breaks. Jamie Jones Buchanan making his weekly appearance, 48 tackles, 11 of which were marker tackles, and squeaking in Adam Cuthbertson, 2 try assists, 4 successful offloads.
Okay, Paul O'Brien says it was a good win for Wigan against a poor Leeds side. Leeds started well, but Wigan didn't panic and came back. Must be hard for Cobb to take charge after Hicks had set a platform. Let's just talk about Joe Cobb for a second and narrative and what we're talking, something that pissed me off about the TV coverage of this. Benny Spence was quite rightly fined for some of the atrocious things he came out and said about a referee and the disrespectful manner in which he conducted himself with regards to an official of rugby league, right? Joe Cobb has to come on in place of the injured Hicks. And all Sky can do is make jokes about, well, he's best friends with Davis Betts, isn't he? Yeah, it's fucking absolutely atrocious. I was so angry that they level that level of derision at someone who's out there facilitating the game that they are commentating on to continue.
So I'll level with you. I had the FA Cup final on the TV with the volume higher,
right,
and then the Wigan game on the tablet with the volume lower. I was primarily watching the Wigan game,
right,
and then the volume would attract me when needed to the boring ass fucking cup final.
Oh God, yeah, it was the cup final.
Yeah. So I sort of missed what happens with Hicks, although I saw it going on. I wasn't sure what was up with him, and I didn't hear the comments about Cobb. But yeah, he did come into it at a point where there was already penalties starting to go against the Rhinos, weren't there? And
but I felt he handled the game well. Yeah. I felt he had a good game. He did nothing wrong.
Well, I think that's
Joe Cobb. I was just angry at the narrative that Sky gave it.
I think that was what Paul was pointing out anyway, so that's good.
Oh, was it? Okay, fair enough. So Paul said good win for Wigan against the poor Leeds side. Leeds started well, but Wigan in panic and came back. Must be hard for Cobb to take charge after Hicks had set a platform. But after 6 penalties, he settled the game down again, and I thought he did well. Thank you, Paul. The Wakey White said, "I've never seen so many good players so out of confidence in one place before. I'm actually starting to feel sorry for them. Don't do that. Didn't deserve that hammering."
This is a narrative now.
Poor old Leeds.
Yeah.
Poor old Leeds with their flooded changing
rooms. They can just go home and fucking cry into all the medals, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. I feel fucking... Do you know what I feel?
I've got no sympathy.
I don't hate them. I've actually stood up for them quite a lot on this podcast. Do you know what I feel for them now they're going through this? Fucking nothing.
Ambivalence.
Flatline, mate. Not a thing. I've never seen so many good players, blah, blah, blah. Didn't deserve that hammering, but they just can't make anything stick. Dom Hodgson got in touch. A rare tweet for Dom, who's very busy being a family man.
No, he's given up on the season.
All right, well, okay, fair enough. You can't believe that Wigan have...
He had time to get fucking busted last week.
We'd all have time to go to Busted, mate. Who's your favourite member of Busted?
I don't have one.
It's Charlie for me. I can't believe that Wigan have had to resort to camouflage to win this game. # win by any means. Yeah, they were tough to make out on the pitch, weren't they?
Hold on. When was high vis camouflage?
I'm pretty sure he's being silly. Sammy Boy, he said, Keith and Cuthbertson are shit, but Sargentson is still a flappy-handed cunt. I think that might be my favourite turn of phrase now.
I think he's gonna do all right in the NRL though.
I think he's. Do you reckon?
I'm confident.
Oh, if he's a flappy-handed, you go at the right place anyway.
The only problem he's got is he might be completely busted because he has had more carries per game than any player in Super League so far this season.
Yeah, you boys are riding him before he
played in every game.
You boys are absolutely getting your pound of flesh out of him. You might have to wheel him off the plane in a fucking wheelbarrow and tip him up in Brisbane. Bob Phillips got in touch. He said, just catching up on the scores, this whole Magic Weekend thing is a joke. How do some teams just get given 2 points like Wigan when others like Castleford have to really work for them? The RFL are clearly biased in favour of Wigan and want them at the top table, which is why they fixed the fixtures this year. Brackets not really. Good stuff from Bob. Diane LBW, she says, Jesus, what a dire match. Only Saints can match Wigan for the yawn factor. I don't know. I think Huddersfield were quite entertaining in the Saints match. And Leeds are just rubbish. Terrible game. No wonder there was a few rounds of the Mexican wave. It was a predictable outcome.
She has a point, though, in terms of Wigan's attack hasn't been great. We did score some points in this game, though, and we did look a little bit more a little bit more vary out there with George Williams.
You've got more options now. That's the thing, isn't it? You have got more attacking options coming in, so that will happen, I think, as the season progresses.
But it is like watching Saints without Ifarge and Swift aren't playing and low backs.
Yeah. Which we'll get to later on.